We saw that what is a reflection framework and what is a keyword driven framework, right, everyone? Hope you remember that. So yeah, I will just quickly recap. Reflection is something which is used to get the properties of the class at the runtime, like the class name, its methods, declared method name and its arguments or return type, declared fields, declared constructors, everything we can get in the runtime so that we can do some invocation and some operations over the class at the runtime itself without declaring anything at the compile time. So we know, right? And what is a keyword driven framework? Keyword driven framework is something which is used to drive the methods of the particular class by reading something from an Excel. You read the data from the Excel and a series of method names. You invoke the method names through reflections in your code. So it's keyword driven framework. Right? So we'll try to combine both these things and try to create a small keyword driven framework today. Let's say, let me create a new package. See, framework is nothing but a set of organized codes to do something. We also saw that, right? What's a framework and all. It is used to just organize a code or, for scaling up for its modularity. So if you wanted to add additional test cases, it should be easy, and that there should be some reusability also. Reusability method should be available for us to do certain operations frequently. That is the thing. So what is a common library that is used to read the data from Excel? Anyone knows? It is Apache Poi, right? So I have added the dependency in the project. So if you have the dependency, the Poi libraries, the Maven will download and put it in your class path. So I mean, there are some other what to say, open source libraries, but Apache Poi is most famous actually. Okay. So what we'll do, we just try to do this code as well, reading the data from the Excel. And there are generally two types of Excel sheet, XLS and XLSX sheets, right? You know the difference, right, everyone? XLS is 2003, 2007 format, and XLSX is later formats. You've seen the difference, right, actually, XLS and XLSX? Hello?
Yes, Karthik.
Okay. So there are two separate classes available in Apache Poi library to do to read XLS and XLSX file. So for XLS kind of files, we use HSSF workbook, related classes, right? For XLSX kind of thing, we use XSSF workbook. Basically, a small difference in the way the class is implemented, nothing much. What we'll try to do, see, there is something called a separation of concerns, right? So whatever operation you are going to do over your framework, it should be those modules should be separate. For example, you just cannot combine a code for a driver initialization or reading the data from Excel sheet and generating reports or writing the code logic, everything in a single file. So it will be kind of messy, right? So you can create a separate package or you can create a separate class to do certain operations. Maybe create an object for that class and reuse those particular methods uh, in your particular core logic classes or wherever you wanted to implement. So for this particular reading the Excel, I don't want to mingle with any other code, so I'm writing a separate class to do the operations. Let's say the class name is data table Excel, right? Now I have this particular class here. So what I wanted to do is like I need to know the path of where my Excel sheet is there. So I'll initialize a variable called a path. That will be a string. And to read an Excel sheet, what are the things I wanted to know? I need to. There is something called I we have just seen, right? This. Okay. Okay. We have seen that two things, right? HSSF workbook and XSSF workbook. So, what are these are the classes which are implementing the interface called workbook actually. Just like we have driver is equal to new Firefox driver, Chrome driver. So general interface we have is workbook, and this XSSF workbook implements this workbook interface, or XSSF workbook also implements this workbook interface. So what we'll do, we'll create a object for the workbook itself.
Yeah, the basic difference is XSSF workbook is works with XLSX and HSSF. I think it works with XLS.
Yeah, right. Sagar, right?
Yeah,
Yes, Sagar, that's true. Just before some time I was explaining that.
yeah,
So we just create an object for this interface called workbook, and later on we'll assign whatever what type of Excel sheet we are reading. We'll assign the particular value to this object. So workbook is a generic interface. Both the XSSF and HSSF will implement this interface, right? So to read an Excel, we need the workbook, and inside the workbook, we need what sheet the particular data we are going to read is present. That is also important. So we'll initialize something called a sheet. Okay. We'll initialize this. Yeah, we'll do this. And we'll initial and inside the sheet, what row you are going to read. That is also important, right? We'll initialize row. So these are the variables which we need to read our data. Where is the Excel sheet present? And the workbook, path, the workbook, the sheet, and the row. So what I'll do, I'll just create a constructor for this particular class. So inside this constructor, I'm going to pass one argument. I'm getting the path of the particular Excel sheet from the constructor itself. I'm just assigning this thing to the variable which we have created. right? So whenever I'm creating an object for the class, it is going to assign the path of the Excel sheet at the time of object creation itself, because we have declared a constructor and we have got the path from the constructor argument itself. Now, be it anything, be it connecting to a database or reading an external resource like this Excel sheet or whatever, you need to create a connection to the particular database or Excel sheet, right? So I don't want to this code to be in a very linear structure. I just want to create this connection in a separate method itself. What I mean by create connection is like just reading the file and assigning these variables. We declared workbook and sheet and all, right? Assigning this thing to the particular objects. We are initializing the objects in the create connection itself, actually, right? Mainly this workbook and sheet. So what I have already created on Excel sheet, kept in desktop. Okay, we'll come to this Excel sheet actually. So what I'll do, I just create this connection here. Let's say I'm creating a method public no return type, just creating connection, right? So generally to read the files, we have this file class in our Java, file and file input stream. We'll make use of that java.io.file. So in the path name, you give initialize this path itself. So we have just specified where that particular file is. Now we have to get the file as input stream. Right? But why we are getting this as a stream? Generally, these kind of files are bytes actually, right? When the particular data we try to read is a string, it's a string. When we try to read a particular data as a character or a integer, it's that data type. But what if there are files like images, this kind of Excel sheets, and those kind of things? It's actually a stream of bytes, right? So to handle these things, it's a binary file actually, right? It's a stream of bytes and it's a binary file. You know, a binary file, right? It's a raw 1 and 0 file. So there are some libraries to read this kind of particular streams and do some operations. For the Excel kind of thing, we'll have this Apache POI actually. Okay. So there's one class called file inputs. Just give me a minute. Okay. So we have this particular class called file input stream. In java.io itself. You create an object for this. And we'll, if you can see in the first constructor argument, they're passing the file itself. Just now we created the object file for the file, right? We'll use this, and we pass this file itself as an argument. Now it will throw an exception actually. Just throw that exception. uh, we have to handle a lot of exception. We'll just try to throw the exception, main exception class itself, right? So now we wanted to initialize this workbook and sheet, right? What is the workbook we are trying to go and what is the sheet and all. So what we'll do, we'll take this object in, we'll initialize this. It's equal to new. We have this xlx file only in my desktop. It's not an xlsx file. It is an .xls file, you can see, right? So I will use this HSSF workbook. and I'll pass this input stream. Now my HSSF workbook class will understand, hey, I'm passing an input stream of data, which is definitely of type XLS because I'm using this particular HSSF workbook class. So we initialize this workbook, and we want to initialize the sheet also, right? So there are you can get the sheet by using its name, using its index and all. In the passing the sheet as an argument itself, I'm just for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to use the index thing, get shader index 0. So now we have successfully established a connection to our Excel sheet. Okay? So while creating a constructor, we are taking the argument of an Excel sheet path, and we are initializing the path through the constructor itself. So while creating a connection to the particular Excel sheet, using the file class and file input stream class, we are getting reading the file and passing at stream input streams to the particular file input stream class, and we are reading the workbook. We know that it's an XLS file, so we are assigning the value of workbook to HSS of workbook and passing the file input stream object itself. And for sheet, we are getting the first sheet available in that workbook. So far, so good, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now we are trying to solve this keyword driven framework only, right? So what's the keyword driven framework we saw? Uh, it's actually a sequence of methods which are going to be executed by reading the method names from the Excel sheet itself. And we are invoking the particular method names using the Java reflections. So now we have done two things. We have created an Excel sheet. We have done some code to just create a connection to the Excel sheet. So next our objective is to create a method so that it reads all the data from the Excel sheet for the particular given test case and return it actually. So if you see our test case sheet, you're able to see it actually. So there are three columns which I have given. You can go and give a number of columns like this. The first column is test case name, and second and third column is the method that we are going to invoke. Right. So this is the test case name. These two are the methods that we are going to invoke. Right. So what I'll do, keeping this design in consideration, I'll be just writing a code now. So what I wanted to return is return a list of methods, right? So we can return method name, we can read as a string, and we can return a list of string itself. Let's say input java.util.list, and just for now we'll return null. Okay. So we'll initialize this particular array list to return actually. Okay. We initialize this, and we need to iterate through all the rows and read all the methods. We'll just initialize a row number. So every row starts from 0 only, as we see in our thing also. Okay, we just initialize this row number, and we don't want the first column to be read for the methods. The first column is always a test case name. We want that second from the second column until whatever column available to be read. Shut down, Ama. Thursday, June 5. இல்ல வராது. கரெக்டா ஷட் டவுன் தான் இன்னைக்கு. சரி உன்னோட செல்போன் எடு, டக்குன்னு எடு. என்னோடதான். டக்குன்னு தந்து விடுறேன். செம்ம வேண்டா இருக்கு.
No problem.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Again, the power went actually.
Mm-hmm.
Connecting to my mobile. Able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll try to iterate by creating a loop and read all the column values actually. We'll initialize the j from 1 because we wanted to start from the first index, not from the 0th index, right? Because 0th index is the test case name. And what is the condition until we wanted to iterate? J is lesser than. So from that sheet, we want to get that row, right? So for the simplicity, say we are reading the first row, so we'll go with that. So we got the row, but we want to get the column also, right? So there is one method called get physical number of cells. So it will return number of cells which are actual data that is filled actually. This is one of the very useful methods. We'll come to this method actually, but just assume that this method return all the return the number of columns where the actual data is filled, right? Until that we are going to iterate, and we'll say j plus plus. So now we are going to iterate all the columns. Now what is our goal? Our goal is to just read the particular column value and put that method name into this array list, right? So we'll just say op dot add and we'll say and we'll say there's something called get cell method, right? So we see get cell, it will return the column for which index you specify actually, right? So we use this get cell and we'll pass this j. We are going to iterate from the 1 and 2 until the end of the columns that we are going to be present in the Excel sheet, right? So we'll pass this j as an argument here, and we'll say when you say get string cell value, it returns the value whatever that is present in the particular column, right? Simple, right? We are getting the sheet which is already initialized. We are getting the row, we are getting the cell, it is a column, we are getting the string cell value, right? So now we have read all these things, and we'll just return the object itself. Easy, right?
Yes.
Okay. So our big work is done actually, right? So we have given the path of this Excel sheet. We have created a connection. We are going to read all the methods available for the particular thing, and we are going to return as a list of string. Okay. Now we'll create one more class. Um, let's call this as a driver methods actually. Right. Okay. So we have read the methods from the Excel, but we wanted to give actual definition to those methods, right? So what are the methods that are there? We have this launch browser and input selection. I have one demo site actually for that purpose. I'll show the demo. I mean, it's very basic demo, but we'll try to. So to launch a browser, what we need a WebDriver, right? Just initialize this WebDriver here. And at the time of initializing the method, we'll just assign the value of this WebDriver actually. Okay. So we'll just try to copy this method name. We have this launch browser method, right? We'll try to create a method name in the same name. And we'll assign this value. Now we have driver is equal to new Chrome driver. And we'll try to launch a website actually. We'll use same the demo Guru 99. So what is my goal is like to launch a browser to put something here in this email ID column. So we'll just copy this site. So we'll just say driver dot get. Right. So now this launch browser method is over. I mean, you can add a number of things inside this method, so everything will be executed. So whatever you for simplicity sake, I'm just launching the Chrome driver. I'm just getting one URL here. And what is our second method name? Input selection, right? We'll try to create that also. So we have launched the browser. Now we just trying to send some data here, right? We'll try to identify this, inspect this. Okay, it's straightforward, right? It has this name attribute email ID. We'll just copy this. So now I'll just say driver not find element. By name, just give this name. Just send keys. Let's say keyword driven. So we'll stop with this actually. So we have this launch browser method. We have this input selection method. We have done our basic work for this particular driver methods, and we need an actual driver itself, right? What I mean by driver is like actual thing which is going to invoke this particular all these logics that we have done until now. And to execute all these things, we need something, right? We'll create actual driver class itself. So we'll have this main method also here. So to run this particular thing. Okay. So now, whatever methods that we have created in data table and driver methods, we just wanted to use that and execute it here, right? So first we will read the data table. We have to give the path, right? We'll just try to get that path here actually. We just go to cd desktop. It's in desktop, right? We just print the working directory and copy this path. And our file name is input.xls, right? We'll just give that file name. So now this data table path is initialized. So to initialize this workbook and worksheet, we have done all the hard coding or all the important things inside this method itself. So it's very easy, right? Now we just have to give data.create connection. That's it. So it's very easy, right? So it will throw an exception. It will throw an exception. So it's so simple. If we do that's the importance of framework and modularity and code reusability, right? So if we so it's very easy for us to understand now, and we don't have to repeat the code everywhere to read the Excel and initialize it. Okay. And we just wanted to read the methods to execute, right? A return type is actually list of string, right? So we'll use the same here. So we just have to call these methods. Method, that's it, right? We have done all the reading of the Excel and getting its data, everything there itself. We just have to call this method. That's it. By calling this method, what will happen? It will read all the column values from the Excel, and it will return as a list of string. Right? So now we have read the methods from the Excel, but we want to actually invoke the method that is actually there in the equivalent method that is actually there in the driver methods Excel class, right? So what we'll do, we'll create an object for the driver method class. So now we'll try to use the reflections and try to invoke this particular methods at the runtime itself. So we saw one class, right? To read the methods at the runtime, there's something called method class in java.lang.reflect. Use this. Since it's a list, we'll just try to get it in a array. Method is equal to. So we are having this particular class, I mean object initialize dot get class to get its property at the runtime dot get declared methods, right? Now it will, this particular method array will store all the declared methods that are available in our driver methods Excel class. What are the methods available? Launch browser is available, input selection is available, right? So now all the method will be there in this particular method array itself. So what we wanted to do, we just so there's only one more final step that is pending. We just have to iterate this particular list and invoke this method here. That's only pending, right? So we'll use two for loops. One to iterate over the list string in the methods to execute list. So this for loop will read all the method name from the list, and now we wanted to iterate this particular method also, because the list may be in any order. I mean, the method may be in any order in Excel sheet and any order in the driver method Excel sheet. So we just wanted to know in what index the particular method that is there in this particular method array. So we don't know, right? So we iterate over each and every method here, and we'll just try to find which is the method actually. So for each method, so if that if the name of the particular method is equals to the string that we have read, getting the logic right, if the name of the method is equal to string that we have read, what I'm going saying is I'm just invoking the method. Sorry. So I'm just invoking this particular method itself without any arguments for now. Right. So what it will do, it will read everything from the Excel sheet, and this particular methods that are there in our driver methods Excel class. It will try to this method reflection class will get all the method name, and it will iterate for each and every list array list method available in array list that we have written in the Excel. Find the matching method name that are available in the method. If the particular name matches, then invoke the particular method itself through reflection. We are not directly saying this dm dot launch browser or dm dot input selection. There is nothing there. All the things are gotten from this Excel sheet only. So we are driving that particular methods through reflections actually, right? We'll try to run this. So our goal is to launch this browser and put some data here, right? We'll try to run this. Okay, Chrome is started successfully. Okay, data is entered here, right? So we didn't invoke anything specifically in our code. Everything we got from the Excel only, these method names. But this method, this particular Excel sheet is read, and this methods are launched from by getting the name of the methods from the Excel sheet itself. So it's so cool and simple, right?
Yeah. So I have some questions here.
Okay.
Like if suppose I have designed the Excel sheet in such a way, like there are 5 test cases, among which 3 of them I want to execute.
Okay.
So how can I do it?
Okay. So you have to just modify the particular thing actually. So while reading the data itself, it's a basic method to just read all the methods right from the data. So
So
you,
here
yeah,
here I will put on one
yeah,
condition.
yeah, yes, yes. So what you have to do
Okay.
in this Excel sheet itself, generally what people will do is like in this Excel sheet, uh, they will have this one more column after this test case name, execute yes or no.
Hmm.
So you read the test case name, you read the execute yes or no, If the execute is yes only, then you have to take all these methods and put it and read and return the array list.
Hmm.
So if the execute is no, you don't have to read the particular row at all.
Okay.
Since you are driving everything from the Excel sheet, so in this design, in this kind of design, people will keep this execute yes or no in the Excel sheet itself.
Okay.
So now it is up to our imagination to I mean, to modify and flexible this framework to anything we want, right? So we now have this basic structure, how to read the data from the Excel sheet, and how to invoke the particular thing using reflection. Now the opportunities are unlimited. We can, as he said, we can directly use this execution by yes or no, and we can just modify the logic here according to that, or we can just create one more method also to try to achieve the same. So what are the thing that is yes, then read that only, and return else return null, and we can have the validation here. If the return array list is null, don't want to invoke this method at all. We can move on. So
Okay.
the opportunities are unlimited here. So we can extend. This is how you scale a framework. You just
Hmm.
have this basic design, and you scale it according to our project needs and wants.
Okay.
Uh, so okay. So now, if we wanted to get the data from the Excel, we just hard coded here. We just hard coded our what to say send keys here. Don't have to necessarily do that. We can take this data from the Excel sheet itself again. For example, maybe we'll see in the next session these things. I can write one more method here, get the particular data for the particular test case. So this particular method, I mean, just I'm writing a rough code. Uh, Public will return the data as a string here. Get data for test case. Since everything is organized here itself, it's very easy for us. Now, let's say the particular data is available in the second sheet of the same workbook, right? I can just get the sheet object here, and I just say workbook.get sheet at one. One is the second index, and I read. I can just do it here. It's a rough code, guys. I can just say read it one. Again, I can just use a for loop for each and every column 0. If the test case name matches to our, let's say I'm passing the test case name as an argument here itself as a string. So if a name matches here, let's say if test case name. Okay. Before that, I want to initialize two for loops, right? To iterate to rows and columns, to rows. If for int I is equal to 0 is lesser than sheet dot rows. Getting it right. Something. Let's say one more for loop. I plus plus. So if something matches, if test case name dot equals this row dot get physical I mean get cell and get string cell value, then probably that is the row that we are going to look for the test case, I mean test data. And what is the test data is given by the column header. We just iterate over the column similar way, and if a row and column matches for the particular data, then we will return the particular data as a string. It's finally we have this return here. Return the data itself here. I say rough work. I don't. So we just assign this data to particular row and column value match for the particular row that we have identified as our test case, and we return the data, we can consume our data from here by creating an object for that Excel and put the data here. I'm getting it right. So that's how it goes. So if you feel like you wanted to have this Excel sheet for each and every class, then you don't have to do this object creation and all. You can just extend this Excel class itself. It's up to you. So by extending this, okay, we just want to invoke that constructor. Okay, by extending this, we can use this methods directly inside our class itself without invoking our object itself. Right? That is also possible. So the options are unlimited once you design something like this. Right? So if you want to extend, you just have to invoke this constructor by calling it super, right? That's it. So the options are up to you. It is unlimited. Just that how you wanted to do things, how you want to design your framework. Right, everyone. So I would suggest you to practice this once in your computer. It will be super helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is how you create a basic automation framework. It's just a collection of classes and codes in a sequential arranged manner so that you can reuse them and see how we reuse this the data table method and drivers. So just for reusability sake and scalability sake, we are having this automation framework kind of thing. We are going to extend these capabilities for further things also.
Right.
Okay. So any questions on whatever we saw here?
So, Karthik, can you give me 15 to 20 minutes after this session?
Okay.
So I will show my what I want to do now.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Sure.
So I have an Excel sheet which we need to automate basically,
Okay.
and
Okay.
that Excel sheet is a functional test case document,
Mhm.
and we need to automate the
Okay.
entire test case, and I will need to discuss with you just 15 to 20 minutes. So what will be the
Can we connect by 10 o'clock?
correct framework which we need to create?
Can we connect by 10 o'clock, sir?
10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Fine, no problem.
Fine, right? Okay. Just ping me. I'll join the Zoom link again.
Yeah, sure. If anyone wants to join, they can join, no problem.
Okay. And any other thing, Mithun or Vinay?
Oh, no, no, Karthik, fine.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm planning to wrap up our course maybe within 10-15 sessions. So we'll see most of the time we'll see this framework kind of things only, and possibly this Git and Maven and Jenkins, those kind of normal stuffs. So just wanted to give you a heads up. Fine, fine. Thank you for joining. And Sagar, we'll connect by 10. Okay.
Yes, at 10 o'clock,
Yes.
let's join again. I'll WhatsApp you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thank you so much.